Woke up this morning, coffee in hand, flipped on the screen, my favorite man. Crafty's on the TV, chipping that stone with Obsidian and Flint, he's in the zone. He's shaping the future with a hit and a crack, building the legends, ain't no turning back. With every sharp edge, he's teaching the way of the ancients who thrived back in the day. Crafty on the TV, talking that smack, stone carving dreams, never looking back. From Texas to Vermont, Crafty studies us, chiseling the past, building futures for us. Wielding the hammer, he's steady and strong, crafting a world where we all belong. Underneath those layers of dust and grit, finds the magic every little bit. A sculptor of stories, buried in the ground, each piece he uncovers wisdom abound. With every collision, the sparks start to fly. As the old world awakens, we question why. He's digging deeper where the shadows play, reviving old crafts that could fade away. Crafty on the TV, talking that smack, stone carving dreams, never looking back. From Texas to Vermont, Crafty studies us, chiseling the past, building futures for us. Wielding the hammer, he's steady and strong, crafting a world where we all belong. And in this life, we're all just searching for our place in the world, a way to keep working. With the flick of his wrist, he brings forth the light. In every gray morning, he makes it feel right. So gather around, let the stories unfold. Crafty's our guide through the young and the old. With the sun rising high and the day moving on, Crafty carves dreams till the light is all gone. He's shaping the future one chip at a time. With every creation, he's keeping the rhyme. From the heartland of Texas to the mountains of green, the legacy lives on through the stonework unseen. With every perspective, he's showing the way. Crafty keeps going, come whatever may. Crafty on the TV, talking that smack, stone carving dreams, never looking back. From Texas to Vermont, Crafty studies us, chiseling the past, building futures for us. Wielding the hammer, he's steady and strong, crafting a world where we all belong. So here's to the mornings with coffee in hand and Crafty on the screen, the true heart of the land. With a hit and a crack, he's paving the way through stone and through story. He inspires the day.
Hello, hello. I'm checking the auction, and it appears that I was not able to reply to a comment that someone is not able to get to the live stream because of the auction video for some reason, which is kind of weird because it shouldn't have anything to do with these two videos. The live stream video and the auction video shouldn't have anything to do with each other. Other people can see both. But when I tried to reply to him, an error occurred. So there's something, I think there's something on your end where I can reply probably to other people, but not to you. Something wrong with your interface? I hope that's just something simple like that. Just use someone else's phone. Yeah. Use someone else's phone to get in on the live stream. If you can. All right, so where am I on the live stream? I'm going to try to answer the questions and stuff without looking at my second phone. Yeah. Let me just check the audio. and stuff without looking at my second phone. Okay, so the audio is okay. Well, let's check the. Hold on a second here. Let's check something else. Hold on. Who's here? Lance McIlwain is the first one, then Clint Evans, and then Graylin Landry. Keepers, Alan Young is here, Flakesguard, Jay Valadez, Rod Staples is here, Alan Cole, Martin Hill, Stoneface, Tommy Taylor, Caden Marsh. Yeah, you're watching Jack Crafty, watch Jack Crafty, yes. And there's some new guys in here. Let's see. Hello, everybody. Hello. I'm going to be napping probably some Obsidian today. Yeah. Unless someone wants to see something in particular, you can mention something in particular that I might have mentioned before that I was going to nap. I did get a box in the mail from Jay Adams. Jay Adams. Let me write that down. Got a box in the mail a couple days ago. Jay Adams sent it to me out of the blue. He's from Texas, so I could nap one of these things. This is interesting. So yeah, Sal, you're not first, unless you can't see anybody else's comments. Then that would be something. Yeah, that'd be weird. Okay, so I finally got a new background, the brown colored towel. Yeah, that way we can see. Victoria says, how are you today? I am doing fine today. It's actually too hot. Yeah. All of a sudden, we got up to like 60 degrees, 60 today. And it was 78 in the shop. It's like almost summer temperatures here in Vermont. Yeah. So I'm okay. I don't know if I like it though. I don't know. It's too drastic of a change. These changes in weather need to be a little bit slower. And they need to calm it down a little bit. Nature needs to calm down just a little bit so we get acclimated and don't get a headache. Yeah. It's going to cool down again next week. So it'll go back to normal temperatures. Yeah, maybe in about 3 or 4 days. Maybe not next week, but maybe in 3 or 4 days it'll be okay. Anyways, what is this stuff? I don't know. It looks like a heat treat, but it's interesting stuff. Now, it could be like Lavic, Jasper. I forget where it's coming from. There's a lot of Lavic Jasper going around. I forget where it comes from. Yeah. Nevada or something. Maybe Arizona. I don't know. Let's see. Is that a real diamond? Wait a second. These people are too new. They're asking questions that are weird. No, I'm not going to say those numbers. Yeah, this is some fancy Jasper. I'm trying to look at the chat from the phone that I'm filming with. Lance says, I went to the Moundville nap-in. Poorest turnout. What? Hold on a second. Oh, I know why I don't check the chat from this phone that I'm filming with is because whenever I get a new comment, it messes it up. Every time I get a new comment, I can't see what I was looking at just a second ago. So let me go back and see. No, tell Danny we need an entire album of napping greatest hits. He sent me like 15 tunes at least. Just ask Danny for the whole list because he sent it to me in like a 15 different emails. I'm sure if you really want those, he'll send it to you. Let's see. It finally let him in on the live stream. Okay, Stoneface is here in the live stream. Yay. All right, hello everybody. Hello. Rainbow Obsidian is so beautiful in the auction. Yeah, I got lucky because my friend Leo gave me that piece. He said he didn't know what it was. It was just a real thick half-inch slab of obsidian, and turns out it's one of the best pieces of rainbow I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, it did have a crack through it, but it was okay otherwise. Let me see. I got a question in here that I didn't see because it messes me up when I try to check the chat with the phone that I'm filming with. Okay, I went to the Moundville Knapping. It was the poorest turnout I have ever seen. Only one rock vendor showed up. Well, dang it. Those Moundville guys. What's up? Did you buy any rock from the rock vendor who showed up? And who was it? I want to know. Inquiring minds want to know who the only rock vendor, the hardcore guy probably, through thick and thin, rain and snow, wind and hurricanes or whatever, he shows up. I want to know who it is. Let's see. So somebody wants to see. Yeah, I'm napping some fancy jasper right now, but if you have other requests, I can do that too. Is that real red diamond? Where do you see a red diamond? Jack Jones? Where do you see it? Drunken Drives. It's a hard stone or something. Yeah. You need a photo of this? Okay. That is red diamond. I don't understand what this red diamond stuff is. Yeah, somebody needs to sleep it off in timeout, yeah. But I don't think he's spamming. He's just weird. Or the comment section is breaking up his comments into little bitty pieces. Let me see. Eric Morris. Eric Morris was the only rock seller? Come on. Itty bitty side notches? You want something with itty bitty side notches? Mm-hmm. I'm watching your stream, which is watching your stream. Yeah. I am doing that too. Let's see. Oh, so there's a lot of guys that need to be put in timeout today? What's going on? Yeah, usually Michael's here. Let me see. If you start spamming or something in the chat, I'm going to delete you. All right. Oh, and he's 9 years old. Yeah. Drunken Drives is 9 years old. Yeah, I'll cut you some slack. Okay. So we're going to get back to Flintknapping. Well, what Flintknapping is trying to make arrowheads out of stones. Trying to. Some of us old guys have been doing it for years. We just don't give up. Yeah. Why? It's addicting. Yeah. It's not a good hobby, actually. As far as hobbies go, I mean, it's not like stamp collecting. Yeah, stamp collecting, you can't cut yourself or get lung disease. I don't think. Well, you can get paper cuts, I guess. Nasty paper cuts from stamp collecting. But, you're not going to smash your toe with a big rock. You're not going to get psychos in the comment section saying, "Man, I thought you were going to do it right. I'm highly disappointed. And I want you to do it perfectly because I want to get my money's worth from watching something for free." Yeah, you don't get cycles like that in stamp collecting, I don't think. And you got people bugging you because they'll say stuff like, "Why aren't you using the stuff they used back in the Stone Ages to chip it with? You're using copper and steel. What are you, stupid? You're supposed to use antler and hammerstone like they did back in the day." But they don't go bug the people that are making baskets. Basket weaving is probably just as old as Flintknapping. Or at least maybe something like fire making. Why aren't people rubbing sticks together like they used to back in the day to make fire? Why? You get these weirdos in the Flintknapping for some reason. Just go bug the people that are using matches to light fires. Okay, go bug them and say, "You're supposed to use what they used back in the old days to make fires because, it's an ancient technology. It's one of the first technologies of man, so you got to respect it. Yeah, got to respect the fire making, so don't use some matches. It's modern. Don't use modern matches." Yeah, go bug them and see how you do. See if you don't look nuts, crazy, and bonker beans. Because that's what you look like when you're here and you start criticizing, why am I using modern methods to do something that's an ancient skill? Maybe I should take up stamp collecting. Yeah. I'm getting tired of those people. But maybe that's their point. Maybe they're being stupid on purpose so I can get tired and leave. Yeah. I don't know. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to get this whittled down, if it'll work, into an arrowhead. Yeah. It's like whittling with hand tools for whittling wood, right? It's so easy. No, it's not easy. And no, that's not right. It's totally different from other skills. Flintknapping is totally different from other skills that are not probabilistic. There are many skills that are probabilistic, but a lot of times you're not going to see that type of skill on YouTube unless you're watching a sport of some sort. Then those are probabilistic skills because you can mess up because of luck or unforeseen circumstances, etc., etc. Flintknapping, there's a lot of unforeseens, and not all rocks are good for chipping. Some guy in one of the other live streams asked me how do you do this to knap granite? I hope he's not watching because he's going to think, "You're making fun of me. You're so condescending. You're such an evil person." Yeah, I know. I mean, tell me something I don't know. But anyways, what was I talking about? This is probabilistic. That means that you take chances. You don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. So it's more like a sport than a craft. Although there is some aspects of artisticness that will help you. If you are kind of artistic, it does help you in this, even though it's more like a sport because of its probabilistic nature. See that? I just took off some of the other side unpredictably because it had a little extension to the flake. See that? It's supposed to only do this and stop right there. See, it's supposed to stop right there, but it had a little flake extension, and that took off some of the other side, like a little sneaky little pest. Yeah, it's not supposed to do that, but it's a sneaky little pest. Yeah, these flakes, they just do whatever they want. If you try to chip them, they just go, sometimes they go nuts. They go crazy. And I should have drew the stone face on here before I started. Yeah. What's the stone face? I'm going to start drawing the stone face on here every time. This is the stone face. Yeah. It doesn't like it. No. It hates this. It hates this process. My goodness. And even if you heat treat it, it still makes the face. I think this is heat treated. But you can't let it get you upset. It's going to try to play mind games with you, the stone, but you got to not let it get you upset. Yeah. Just think about the fact that it's waited its whole life for this moment. This rock has waited its whole life to be angry at this moment. And this rock, how old is it? Probably millions of years. It's been waiting to be on film so it can make the face. Yeah. So there you go. It's famous. How many people are watching? Man, not that many, but it's still going to be famous for a rock. Not all rocks get to see fame like this rock is going to. No. Now, let's see. Do I have a plan in mind for what type of point this is going to be? No, I don't. I mean, I could suddenly announce that I'm making a blah, blah, blah point, but then that would make it more difficult to accomplish on video. Yeah. I mean, I can act like a loser, but I'd rather not show a loss. I don't want this to break on video. And if I try to make something specific, it increases the chance of breakage. Why? Because it's not all that predictable. Yeah. So sometimes you just got to go with the flow. And see, I wiped that frown off its face. Yeah. That's the good part about Flintknapping. You can wipe that frown right off the rock's face. With a nice big flake. So, someone already, I mean, I guess I don't know if it's James Adams, the guy that sent these to me. He was already napping on this, but he did not get it thin. Probably because he was not hitting it hard enough to break it. Yeah, I'm hitting it hard enough to snap the whole thing in half. And I'm usually pretty reckless with that in the beginning stages. Because if it's going to break, I want it to break in the beginning stages and not waste my time later. Because if it's got defects and then start to get it thin, that's when the defects will get me. And the rock will laugh. It'll change from an angry face to a very happy face if it breaks. And if it breaks, I'll show you what the happy face looks like. Yeah. After many years of napping, you get to see what that face looks like. You don't get to see it in the beginning when you're new. Nope. But you'll see the rock faces as you get older, as you get more experience. You'll see. Yep. The rock has moods too. Oh, yes. How do you know what mood it's in? Well, you just start hitting it and you'll see. Sometimes you want to just not mess with it that day. It's not acting right. So if it's in its mood, you want to just put it down and work on something else. Bro, you need to talk in real scientifical terms because, if you keep making these stupid comments, no one's going to listen to you. Yeah, I know. You don't have to listen to me. I mean, it's kind of a captive audience, right? If you are going to try to watch the napping, you do have to tolerate my ramblings and silly stuff. But, I mean, you could turn the volume down, maybe. No, we can't turn the volume down because we want to hear the chippings. The chippings are soothing. They're soothing. They help me take a nap. You mean you're not trying to learn how to flint nap? No, I'm watching the video so I can fall asleep. It's the middle of the day. It's like 5 o'clock, time to go sleep. Because I need to be up at 3 in the morning for my games. Yeah, I've heard that before. You know, if you play live video games or something, you need to be awake where those guys in Europe are awake or something. It's a worldwide game type of thing going on. I know some of you players stay up all night so you can play people from other countries live, I guess. I don't know. I'm really not that into it. Never have and probably never will get into video games. Although I have played some live video games with friends of mine a long time ago. I'm trying to remember the name of it. What was the name of that game? Anyways, we would get together a few times, 4 or 5 times we played on Friday night. Yeah. But we were all here in the United States. And they would tell me, we would have communication headsets where we'd have, you know, the microphone and the earphones attached to each other, and we could talk to each other and hear each other. Okay, so they would tell me, watch out for this guy over here. He's doing this and that. He's going to go around the corner. Just stop right there, and when he comes around, then you blast him. I can see him. You're brand new, so just hunker down, and I'll tell you where to shoot. So my friend would tell me where to shoot. And I said, I don't want to hunker anymore. Let me go out in the open. And as soon as I go out in the open, someone snipes. I get pegged right away. Okay, I'll stay hunkered. That was my experience, and I didn't play no more. Anyways, I wish I could remember the name of that game. Someone was saying this is some kind of Call of Duty. That's it. I was playing Call of Duty. Dang it, you guys are reading my mind. All right, so Drunken says the stone appears to be polished agate or jasper with yellow, green, and orange banding. It has rough textured outer surface and smooth, colorful interior type of agate geodes. I can't read from that phone. I got to read from this phone. But yeah, I played Call of Duty with friends of mine, and it was pretty cool. I'm a little bit dyslexic and autistic and ADHD-ish, so the controller, for some reason, I couldn't get used to the controller fast enough, and I couldn't switch my weapons, so I would get killed. Yeah. Anyways, my friend says, use a grenade launcher, grenade. Okay, how do I switch? Just push the button in a certain sequence. Come on. So I would do it the opposite. No, not that way. Dang it, he got us. You didn't clear the room with the grenade. Yeah. What we need here is a check this box if you have a complaint or what to make. Why don't you do this? And when they click on it, they automatically delete themselves. Keepers, you're a genius. Oh, yeah, that would be so cool. Let's see. Stoneface says Flintknapping is a blood sport. Band-aids are a part of it. Yes, it is. So what did they use? Your homework assignment for tonight, boys and girls, is to figure out what they used instead of Band-aids back in the day. And don't say, they just put their finger in their mouth, dude. That's the perfect Band-aid. Don't say that, okay? Try to figure out what did they use to stop the bleeding from cuts and stop the infections. It's your homework assignment. Because if you didn't do it, you could die from a Flintknapping cut that got infected. Kiefer says, why can't those that complain just write a letter? Okay, I don't know. Who's complaining in the chat? Who is complaining in the chat? Danny Moore is here. Mr. Jim is here. Sal. Hey, Bushy. Frodo Joe is Bushy. Jared is here. Jim Main is here. Just in case. That's a cool name. Yeah. I have the same initials, JC, Jack Crafty. Yeah. Except that's not my real name. In case you're wondering why they say Patrick, that's who I am. Marty's here. Marty Wybe. Jay Valadez, I think I've said hi to you. Let's see, who else is here? I don't think I'm going to win, though. Let's see, who's going to win what? Who is going to win what? Oh, gosh. I'm missing the comments. Is that rod copper? Yes, it's a copper rod. This is copper, yes. This one here is 3/8, but I also use 5/16. You can tell a difference, right? Just by looking at it. Some guys can just look at this stuff and know what it is right away. I'm using modern tools today, but if you want to see me use antlers and stone, you got to wait till Friday night. Okay. Let's see. I like it when the real Jack Crafty imitates Patrick Blank. Why is that funny? I don't know. Artificial period. What's that? Yeah, even switching from Xbox to PlayStation controller, it messes you up. Yeah. Luckily, I didn't do that. I had a used. We were using a Xbox, and I had a used one. Well, see, South says the only way I could find the link is by looking up the email and do what was if you had to do a lot more work and then you what? Hey, I got a super chat from Sal from Raven Spirit. Awesome. Blades and Points by SGP or Blades Points. He used to have a little and signed in there. Anyway, Blades Points, $4.99 super chat. Thank you. His name is Sal. Sal, S-A-L. Yeah. For Salvador. Yeah. Where is someone else gave me a super chat. Where'd it go? Right? Or no? Nobody else did? I only make like $1 or something on these videos. If I get 10,000 views, I'll make $1 on the video. Sometimes I get 30,000 views. That's $3. Yeah. Awesome, right? It's so awesome. Yeah, I got to start making regular videos. If I want to start making more money from the videos, I just got to make the long format regular videos. Yeah. Because then I can make $30 off of 10,000 views. That's a big difference. But the stupid thing is that YouTube promotes these live streams, but it doesn't give you no money. It just promotes the stuff that's worthless for the creators. It might work for YouTube, but for the creators, these things don't make any money. And especially the short videos. The shorts, they make even less than the live streams. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna make all three types of videos: the short videos, the live streams, and the long format. Although the long format, I'm gonna start cutting it down to 20 or 30-minute segments. So I'm not gonna make these long 2-hour videos anymore. Nope. I mean, I can. It's easier for me if I just go straight through and make a 2-hour video. But some of the segments in the video don't get much viewership. Like in the middle, most people watch the beginning process and the ending of the video. If it's a long format where it goes from a piece of rock to a final point, they'll watch how to thin down the rock in the preliminary thinning, and then they'll skip the secondary thinning, they'll skip the pressure flaking, and they'll go straight to the end to watch what it actually becomes. So the average view time, it's been increasing over the years, but it's like 16 minutes right now for my long format videos. So what can you learn in 16 minutes? Well, they're not watching the whole video. They watch like 5 minutes of the beginning, 1 minute in the middle, and then the rest of the time, 15 minutes at the end. Yeah. Or whatever it is, 10 minutes at the end. Yep. I've looked at the graphs of what they watch and when they watch the videos. No one watches this process here, but there are a few that are very loyal pressure flaker watchers, they mess up everything. So then I can't tell exactly. But a lot of times they don't watch this part. I get a sharp decline as soon as I start pressure flaking on my long format videos. On the live streams, it's a little bit different because I look at the people that are watching while I'm doing this pressure flaking, and sometimes it actually goes up instead of going down. Yeah. Anyways, why do I even bother? I just can't help myself. I gotta look. It's like watching a train wreck. I mean, you can't help yourself. It's watching a fire down the street. You gotta go outside and watch the fire trucks. You can't see anything, but you want to see the fire trucks. It's so stupid. All right. Okay, let's see if I can do this. I'm going to take the glove off because with these smaller arrowheads, the gloves can get in the way. Yep. And if I get a cut, some of you guys that have done your homework on what to use, you can tell me what plants or natural materials can be used to stop the bleeding, and I'll try it. Yeah. Wait, you didn't do the homework? Dang it.
What homework? There's supposed to be a classroom. You know, you're not qualified. You don't got no, lab coat.
I know. I can't run this like a classroom. No. Besides, no one does homework anyway. Yeah. People say, what is he talking about? What is going on? I just want to see if you guys have any ideas on how they used to take care of their cuts back in the day. They must have had lots of Flintknapping cuts back in the day, unless they actually made mittens and gloves. Now, wouldn't that be something? You think they were capable of making mittens and gloves? Did they actually do it to protect their hands? Ishi the Indian did not, and he was knapping Obsidian. He did not have any hand protection at all except for the one pad for the palm of his hand. Everything else was exposed, his eyes, everything. Yeah. They didn't, and I don't think Ishi cut himself. I mean, I don't remember reading about how he took care of any cuts. Yeah. Anyways, this is the hardest part of all of Flintknapping, is to thin down a thin piece without breaking it. I'm trying to thin down the thin piece. I'm going through all the stages without telling you that there's little divisions in these different stages. I'm just going straight through. Okay. I've already gone through 2 stages. The initial reduction and then the preliminary thinning. And right now I'm in the secondary or final thinning before I notch it. So this is the hardest part of all of Flintknapping, is this final thinning, because it's so easy to break. And there's no right and wrong way to do it, with one exception. If you break it, it's the wrong way. Yeah. That's the wrong way to do it. But the funny thing is, some of the psychos, they're watching, they'll go,
Yeah, I knew you were going to break it. I knew the way you were doing it, you were going to break it. So that's what happens. And for you, breaking it is the right way because you're a loser.
Yep. I've heard it all. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, I've been doing this for a while. Oh yeah, I went back to look at my old favorites from back 15, 16 years ago. I'm going to start posting some of my old favorite videos, because they are old videos. but they're still on YouTube. They haven't been watched. Yeah. And I found, was it Mike Dothager's video? I had forgotten I had saved it as one of my favorites. And that's one of the first indirect percussion guys on YouTube. But he held the flaker with his ankle or with his heel of his foot and flaked while sitting down on the ground. Now he had some weird ideas about how to use the antler billets, but he was doing indirect percussion, one of the first early ones. But I call that unsupported. Well, it's a hybrid, I guess. It's kind of unsupported indirect percussion because it wasn't fully grasped. Right, I'm grasping this with behind my knee, but the way he did it, he had it up on some kind of support and hold it down with his heel, and then he would hit like this. But he had a pad support. I don't use pad supports. There's no follow through with this. With this, you get follow through. You can do a large amount of force without having to be stopped by the pad. I don't use a pad like this or on the ground like Mike Dothager. Hopefully his first name is Mike. I can't remember. Anyways, there's other videos that are old that I wanted to find. And I did find them, but I haven't posted them yet. I don't want to post them all on the same day because then people say, you're spamming us in the community. Don't spam us in the community, bro. So I'm not going to do it all at once. But I am going to start showing you the older videos. That sometimes they're hard to find. Because they're not named like you think they should be named. Yeah. Like there's one video where the guy was making a Sinew back bow. I'm not sure if that's the one that I was thinking of, but you can't find it just by looking for Sinew back bows. But maybe you can on that particular one. But there's other videos on Native Americans using Sinew that are interesting that you should watch if you want to know how they used to do it. Yeah. There was a video where I'm not sure what the tribe was, but from the northwestern United States, they were making skin-on boats or hide boats. What is it called? I don't know. They made kayaks and boats with sealskins, and they were braiding the sinew to make thread to sew the skins for the skin-on boats. And these were Native American women doing it. Native American women would make the cordage out of sinew that were used to sew the seal skins for the skin-on boats and kayaks. And I'll show you that video. I'll post it tomorrow or whenever. Yeah. I had saved it in my favorites. I'm smarter than I thought. Yeah. I hadn't looked at my favorites in a long time. So, let's see. What are we going to do now? Well, we're going to try not to break it because the next stage coming up can break it. It's got a crack in it, I think. Right there. See that? What is this? I think it has a natural crack in it. Right there. See that? That little booger right there is going to mess me up. That right there. And you better not. It's getting ready to laugh. Watch. Right now, it's got this face on it right now. Yeah. It's looking at it. It's looking at that crack, and it's saying to itself, It's looking at that crack and it's getting happy. That's gonna mess me up. Yes, it is. But the rock, this is how it gets started to get happy. It doesn't make the full smiley face unless it's broken. And then it'll make its full smiley face. It's got some crystal pockets in it. Yeah. So I'm just going to pressure flake it and then see what happens. Let's see. How old am I? How old are you? How old are you? I am 63 years old. Damien, how old are you? 7? Let me see. I've got 6 children. They're probably all older than you are. Uh-oh, did our moderator get rid of Damien? Let me see. I can put you in timeout. 5 minutes. So then all you can do is watch. Look at all the messages. Okay, who else needs a timeout? Raise your hand. Let me see. Can you make a guitar pick? Says Zenith Beans. Oh, yes. People have asked me to make guitar picks. Yeah, you can make guitar picks out of this stuff. I mean, it'll break. You got to make them kind of thick. And they might sound kind of weird because they don't have that little flexibility that normal guitar picks have. I don't know. I don't play guitar, but my son does. One of my sons. And let's see. Yeah, you got to have some flexibility in the guitar picks. I suppose you don't have to, but it helps. I guess. I don't know. All right. Beeswax had to be good. Also, I bet as good as pine sap. Keefers, you know that Native Americans did not have beeswax? And if they used beeswax, it was in Europe, but I don't think there's been any evidence that they used beeswax with the hafting glue, even in Europe, where they had honeybees back in the day. Somebody thinks I'm making the guitar pick. I should just leave that alone and tell them yes, just so that I can get more views. Yeah. So I can make 25 cents more on the video. Let's see. What is this? What is this? There's a lot of new guys commenting. Danny Moore says, pressure flaking is boring, I have to admit. It's somehow less boring watching it than doing it. Yeah, I do agree with that one. Hey, I am Atomic Zombies here. But look, I get a bunch of little crud flakes. I'm always wondering what to do with these. All right. These can be used like for inlay. You know, if you're into inlay.
What's inlay? What is inlay? Bro, you don't use this for inlay. You're supposed to use wood.
But you can use those, right? I mean, why not? For, let's see, mosaics. Yeah, that's what I could do with these. I can make some mosaics. See that? They're all colorful and beautiful. Yeah. No. That's all I need is another hobby. Mosaics.
So what do you like doing?
I do Flintknapping and mosaics.
Wait a second. What?
Sorry, I don't want to get into the conversation. That's the way it would go. Jay Valadez, it's always a pleasure to watch you, the man, Crafty. Thank you for the super chat, $9.99. Very generous. Thank you. Tommy Taylor says taco time. He's always tempting me with tacos. Let's see. Does Dusty Hill pick a guitar with a pestle? Dang it, I don't know about these. I don't know about these crazy musicians. Yeah, none of you guys have told me how the Native Americans used to wrap up their cuts from Flintknapping. I should just ask Grok, because that's what you guys do when you're doing your homework, right? Or Chat GPT or whatever. All right, so that's it. I can't see any questions, so we'll just move on. And we'll just keep going. Like I'm supposed to. Yeah, this is a 2-hour live stream, so we got another hour and some minutes. Daylight savings time has changed the way the sun looks. I don't like it. It's too drastic of a change. You know, we got hot weather all of a sudden, and then the daylight savings time. So it's like it jumped straight from the middle of winter to the middle of summer. Yeah. It's weird up here in Vermont. Other than the weather, it's weird. It's weird everywhere. I mean, here in Vermont, it's always weird, no matter what. Anyways, where was I going with this next thing? I'm just trying to make the edges straighter, because that's part of the process. Yep. If I want to make a nice, neat, modern-looking arrowhead like everybody likes, I got to make it nice and neat. Yeah. So this is a pressure flaker, commercially available. I did not make this, and it's a nail. It's a copper nail in there. Of course, it's cut to size. Where are the copper nails? So I can show you. So it can be show and tell. No, don't tell me I misplaced. Yeah, I misplaced. I bet you guys, some of you guys, new guys, never seen a copper nail. Knappers use copper nails in their tools. Yeah. You didn't know that?
I don't even know what Flintknapping is, bro. I'm just here so I can not be bored, but you're boring me. Okay, fine. There's other things you can watch, you know, that are going to be super interesting. Yeah. Like watching these dash cams on vehicles, on trucks especially, and watch all the people that mess with truck drivers. Go watch that video. Yeah. Go watch them dash cam videos. Yeah, but that's too much work. I just scroll. I don't search at all. I don't type nothing. I just get on YouTube and I scroll. I scroll the lives.
That's your life? Scrolling lives? Live streams? That's your life? Yeah. For no reason, just so you can just zone out. Yeah.
Yeah, life is too painful. I gotta get something to occupy my brain because I just can't stand being just by myself with my own thoughts. My own thoughts suck.
Yeah, I know. Who is that? Who are these people talking? Don't worry about it. You worry too much. Yeah. All right, so I'm getting to the point where if I get it too thin, it's going to snap. Yeah. It's going to snap. So what do? I've got to make sure I avoid that crack. So usually when that happens, I'll do some notches from the base if I want to avoid something in the middle. So let's do that. Yeah. Let's get an arrow foreshaft first so we know how wide the stem needs to be. And if you don't know what that is, I'll show you. So you get an arrow foreshaft. You test it out. And then you make the stem wide enough so it can be hafted. So it fits this one. What about some other ones? This one, in case you're wondering, this foreshaft is made from creosote bush. Creosote bush from Texas. Yeah. Just like they used to make them back in the day. They used to make foreshafts out of creosote bush. You didn't know that? Man. So I'm looking for a large arrow shaft, right? Doesn't have to be large, but it'd be easier to make a wider stem. But I've got lots of different arrow shafts. Or is this in that ladle dart? Oh, this is for hunting points. Oh, this is for a modern hunting arrow. Let's see. Yeah, I guess that would work pretty good. So I use this for a modern hunting arrow. Okay. So that's what I'm going to use. And that's the depth typically that people use. I don't know what that depth is. It's like a 1/2 inch or something. Yeah. So that's what I'll do. Let's try to make a stem that'll fit that. It can't be that. I mean, the notchings are not going to be that deep. So this is going to look similar to a barbed and tanged arrowhead from Europe. Because why not? Okay. And I'm going to mark so I don't mess it up. Yeah, even those marks go away really fast. At least I can start where I should be starting by just putting in some start notches. Yeah, that's a Flintknapping term. It's the start notch. You didn't know?
Don't be messing with the new guys, because, you know, they're innocent. Not like you. You're evil.
Yeah. I gotta watch it. I gotta watch what I say. People take me seriously. So what is this? This is just a piece of copper in a oak dowel that I made. I made this particular flaker. I should get I made this flaker today. Well, I made this little spatula tool, stuck it in the end. It's a nail also, but I flattened it out to notch with. I was looking at one of Sal's videos, and he's got these long notchers. I said, man, I can't be missing out on this fun. I got to make some long notchers. I'm not usually using the long notchers. It's very difficult to use long notchers with the antler tools. I try to keep it as simple as I can with the modern tools, so there's not too much of a learning curve when I go back to the natural tools. But I was using this earlier today, and I'm saying, man, it's so much easier to use a long notcher than a short one. Holy moly. Yeah. I tell you, sometimes I make it more difficult than I need to make it on myself. Yep. So what's a barbed and tanged arrowhead? It's a European style. Believe it or not, back in the day, there used to be people making arrowheads in Europe too. Yeah, there was a Stone Age in Europe. Believe it or not. They weren't just plopped down on the earth by aliens over there in Europe. They had their own Stone Age. Yeah, I mean, Native Americans can't have all the fun. Yeah. So it's going to be like a barbed and tanged, if I don't mess it up. If I don't keep maintaining that tool, I'm going to mess it up. And I'm going to go back and forth to irritate the Karens out there. Let's see, it's supposed to be like this. I'm supposed to just file it this way
From now on, I'm only going to file it that way. I'm only going to go this way. That's it. The opposite. Yeah. Yep. That's what I'm going to do. And I'll wait to see if there's a Karen that shows up. He won't know that setting a little trap. Nope. Oh, that reminds me. I was thinking of trapping some squirrels. We got too many squirrels now that I've been feeding them sunflower seeds. We got 8 squirrels out front. I just keep feeding them. But maybe I could set a trap and get some. Make a stew. Yep. We'll see. Just don't tell nobody. One of the neighbors likes to watch them. Yeah. They would be heartbroken if I captured some squirrels for dinner. What is that? Anyways, I used to capture squirrels in my house in Texas. Those little booger heads. Yep. So I'm running into a problem here because I hit a thick spot. Yeah, and it's smiling again. This time it's looking down at the notch, smiling at that. But I can stop right there. I don't need to go any further than that. No. That's adequate. As long as it is able to hold it still a little bit, it's adequate. It doesn't need to go very far as the notches go. No. The glue is going to hold it in really good. Just need a little bit. So let's try it. Let's try it and see. What am I going to try it with? With Sinew. Oh yeah, I found a guy on YouTube that says Sinew the same way I do. He says Sinew. He doesn't say Sinew. Is there any other word that you say the N like that? Maybe onions? Funyuns? Sinew? I don't say Sinew, I say Sinew without the nya. Get rid of that face. I'm going to wipe that grin right off your face. Stupid face. So here we go. We're gonna put this into the haft using some modeling clay to imitate hafting glue. I have other videos, at least one video where I use a real hafting glue, but that was an old one. I need to do a new one where I use real hafting glue. But I use asphaltum. I use asphaltum and gum base. This is not pine pitch. This is asphaltum and gum base. Gum base? Gum base. What's gum base? Golly, you guys are so new. I can't stand it. Yep, I can't stand it. The world at your fingertips and you don't know what gum base is. It used to be people could look stuff up within 5 seconds. But now they don't even look stuff up anymore because the algorithm likes you to make it up. They like you to invent stuff. Yeah. You know, if you're wrong on the internet, you attract more attention than if you're correct. Yeah. Yeah, but that's wrong, dude. I hope so. I hope it's wrong because that'll attract a lot more attention if I'm wrong. Yeah, that's the way internet works. So what kind of incentive is that? It incentivizes you in the wrong direction. But that's what the internet is these days. If you're wrong, you get more attention. Because people are saying, no, that's not right. No, it's not right. No, it's not right. Let's gang up on this person and tell them they're not right. Come on, guys. And the internet gets full of people telling other people they're not right. Yep. And if they are right, it's boring. Okay, we all know that already. But if they're wrong, you gang up on them. Yeah. And you spend lots of time looking for people who are wrong so you can gang up on them. Yeah. Hold them accountable. Make sure they don't do it again. How does that work? How is that working out for you? Making sure they don't do it again. Yeah, I know. It doesn't work at all. But that's the internet. If it doesn't work, it gets more attention. All right. So I'm using modeling clay to simulate or to pretend this is the hafting glue. All right. So I cover everything up. If that was hafting glue, I would cover everything up near the top and then make sure it's nice and straight. Make sure there's plenty of glue down in there. Cover up all the wood. Yes. Now, modern glue is much better. Modern hot melt glue is much better than pine pitch or whatever you think is what they used to use back in the day. And they do sell black hot melt. Okay? In case you're wondering. In case you might feel like crying because they don't have no black hot melt. Well, they do. They've even got red hot melt. They got all kinds of colors of hot melt glue now, not just clear. Okay? So you can use black hot melt, modern black hot melt. It works a lot better than this natural stuff that they used back in the day. Modern hot melt glues are amazing. Anyway, I'm gumming up my file. But you use a stick and you use water on your fingers with the real natural hot melt. Okay? Are we there yet with the Sinew? Almost there yet? Let's see. This is like the seventh time I've used the same Sinew over and over again. Yeah. All right, so you flatten it out. This is backstrap Sinew, okay? So you can't get long strands like this from leg Sinew. In case you're wondering. No, I can get it because we got monster deer where I live. Yes, they're monsters. Okay, fine. I am not talking to you. If there's an exception to what I'm saying, just remember, I am not talking to you. I'm talking to the people who know. They just got little puny deer like down in Texas where I used to live. They just got little bitty deer. The sinews are sucky. I shouldn't be saying bad words. I have little relatives watching. Yeah. Their mom's not going to like it. Okay. I got relatives? There's more? Yeah, there's more little Jack Crafties hanging around. Unfortunately. Yeah. So why am I wrapping it so far down? I don't know. On Native American arrows, a lot of times they wrap it down pretty far. I think it's because it's so delicate. Yeah. The arrows are delicate compared to atlatl darts. Anyway, that's how you do it. And you spin it like this and check to see if this is aligned properly. If that tip stays still when you turn it, it's centered properly. And you got to make sure you don't mess up your Sinew. Don't mess it up. You got to turn it in the correct direction. Turn it like this. And you got to make sure that tip doesn't move. If it's moving, you got to recenter it. And as you're doing this with natural materials, you're heated up next to a fire. Okay. Anyway, can you see how that looks? It's got a bunch of modeling clay in the Sinew. That's why it looks kind of grubby. All right, but there's a lot of glue up here. That's the way I would do it. A lot of glue up here to make sure that transition's nice and smooth. Okay, and then wrap it down here so it won't split when it hits. That's how I would do that one. Yay. All right, let's do another one. We still got one more. Well, we got almost an hour left. I could go 15 minutes over and we would have an hour left. Let's do another one. No one recommended any kind of material, so I could do this mahogany obsidian. Yeah, from J. Adams. Let's do the mahogany obsidian since people are having trouble with it. Yeah. Why are they having trouble with it? Because it's snapping halfish, especially when it's got defects like that. Okay. So what do? How do I get rid of those defects? Do I go presto, abracadabra, no more defects? Yeah, that's what I do. Or do I just nap around them and be very careless? Because if it's going to break, I want it to break right now. Yeah. I'm not gentle with it at this stage. Well, I am kind of gentle with it, kind of, sort of. I don't want it to break all the pieces. But if it's got a defect, I want it to be... I want it to show now where the defects are. See, that's a natural crack in here. So that's good. That I got rid of that. And look, it straightened it out a little bit. That was fortunate. Oops. There's another natural crack. See that? Natural crack in there. Yep. So that's good. Get rid of that loser. And we still got a good shape for an arrowhead. I think it is. I think it's beautiful. Yeah. Why is it beautiful? Because this part didn't break. Yeah. That's why. And if you're thinking I was going to do something magical and make it the full length of the original piece, you cannot guarantee that. Nope. Sometimes you can, sometimes you cannot. Besides, I want to make smaller points anyway for these videos, just to change things up a little bit. I've been making larger points. And this is what they call mahogany obsidian. But we call it, on this channel, we call it snapping halfish obsidian. Because it's so easy to break. You just look at this funny and it'll break. It has delicate feelings, okay? If you look at it funny, it's going to get all insecure. Yeah. Right now, what face is it making right now? This is the face it's making right now. That's the face it's making right now. See, even though it hates it, mahogany obsidian always makes this face. It wants to make this face. It wants to make that face. That's its other side of its personality. But usually it makes this face. Yeah. Okay? That's why people want to see how to nap it. Yeah. They've been napping stuff that makes that face. That's just same old, same old. I'll show you how to nap the scared face one. Yeah. You got to be a lot more careful. Okay. All right. Let's go down to a smaller diameter rod. That was 3/8. I'm going to use the 5/16 because we're going to be taking off smaller flakes. Okay. All right. Yes. Yeah. Good. Fine. Nice. Just little by little. It's going to be as boring as pressure flaking, probably. And I'm going to zip right through the different stages. I'm not even going to clean up. No. I'm just going to go through the easy stage, and then the more difficult stages, and then the final finishing. I'm not even going to tell you where the stages are divided.
Nope. You're gonna have to watch some of my other videos so I can make $5 more. Yeah. Trying to make money on videos is not. It's like self-torture. There's only a few. Well, a few. There's not that many people making money on YouTube. Yeah. If you look at the statistics, it's very easy to get into the top 20% of YouTube creators, because I think you just need to make over $1,000 a month, and you're way up in the 20 percentile. But that's not very much money compared to a job. For the same number of hours you put in, you can put in 40 hours a week every week in YouTube and only make 1/10 of what you would make at a normal job. Yeah. Why do I do it? Well, I can go back to a normal job, but it's not good for my health, because I have my degree in drafting. So I'd be sitting at the computer all day unless I was out in the field doing some measurements or whatever. But most of the time I'm spending it behind a desk, moving the mouse all day. And the only exercise I get is to get up and go to the bathroom or go to the break room, get some coffee or whatever. Yeah. Shoot the breeze with coworkers. That's it. Otherwise, I'm just sitting at my desk. It pays me like 100 times more than this, but I'm retired now. Yeah, that's my excuse now. Sometimes I say, why am I doing this again? Why am I doing this? I could be making 10 times more money right now. Oh yeah. I'd probably be on my second heart attack by now. Yep. Have not had any health issues, luckily. I think I got out just in time before all the health issues started to get set in. Yeah. Now I can just go fishing whenever I want. If I want to go fishing, I can take a walk whenever I want. I can make arrows and arrowheads whenever I want. I can do anything whenever I want now. Yeah. I think that's better. Yeah. I would say so. Yep. Sometimes these feel like they're going all the way across. You gotta watch it. I've gotta watch that. Don't get too. If I get too aggressive with these flakes. Yeah. So what I'm doing is, I'm being a little bit crude right now in the beginning stages, but as it gets thinner, I've got to be more careful. And I can't be too aggressive. Even though it wants me to hit harder, I'm not going to. I've got to figure out a way to hit the edges so that it doesn't require much force. And that usually means smaller flakes, which keeps it thicker in the middle, which is okay. Unless I want to show you how to get it really thin. Now, if you want to knap the mahogany obsidian, I suggest keeping it thick if you want to be successful. But people want both. They want to know how to not break it and make it thin. Yeah, that's what they want to know. And they're brand new, and they want to know how to do that when they're brand new. The only thing I can tell you is, if you're a very lucky person, which some people are, you can do it if you're lucky. But if you're not lucky, you can't do that. You've got to start first with thick points, and then over time figure out how to make them thinner. And you usually have to develop your own style. You can copy someone else's style, but I tried that in the beginning and it did not work for me, copying someone else's style. So I had to develop my own style. Now, not everyone has that issue. and you might be able to do it just like this, but maybe you can't. That's okay. That's perfectly fine. You just gotta develop your own style that works for you. So what I'm doing is just being very careful. It might not look like it, but I'm being very careful not to make really big flakes. I can make larger flakes than that. Like this one here, I tried to make a big flake. It didn't work all that well. But I can't be doing that as it gets thinner because it'll snap in half. Yeah. So I've just got to very carefully pick where I'm going to remove flakes and make sure they're not too big. Yeah. But they can't be too small either. They've got to go halfway. I'm trying to get these to go halfway, but not much more than halfway. You can't guarantee where the flakes are going to go, but you can adjust the force that you're using. You can adjust the amount of force you're using so that the flakes don't travel as far. You can back off a little bit. Yeah. The only problem with backing off a little bit is sometimes it laughs at you. The stone will laugh at you if you back off a little bit. All right. I'm trying to look at the chat here. Well, I haven't seen any questions. This is I'm told this is when a lot of the new guys or a lot of people are notified of the videos that are live in the second hour. So I do notice a jump in the number of viewers in the second hour. Yeah. It kind of throws me off. I don't know if they're watching because they got notified or because they see something they like. Mm-hmm. I'm using all modern tools. This is a diamond file. I just bought a new file set. So I bought 2 new file sets. You can get these at Harbor Freight. These are like $8. Make sure they're the diamond. It's got to say diamond grit needle file. Okay. You get these at Harbor Freight for $8 and they last a good long time. Don't get them off the internet unless you get them off of Harbor Freight internet site. I don't know what it is about those Harbor Freight ones, but they work better than anything else that I've tried. I suppose you can get some at hardware stores or whatever, but those just seem to work well, very well, compared to others. You might get them and say, man, they wear out fast, but if you get other ones, they're going to wear out even faster. How do I know? I don't know. Let's see. I need some heat. It's starting to cool down. Yeah, I'm wearing hot weather clothes, but it took a dive. The sun went down. Now it is like 55 degrees. It was like 75 degrees maybe 30 minutes ago. But when the sun stops hitting my workshop, man. Okay. Here we go. Pressure flaking. Everybody can go make their sandwiches. Get your hot cocoa and marshmallows. Yes. Oh, most people are in the hot weather these days. I mean, winter's mostly over for most people, so you're not going to be making no hot chocolate or marshmallows. I remember those days. I don't do that anymore. No more sugar for me. I try not to. It's difficult. Yeah. If I drink coffee these days, there's no sugar. Nope, nope. No creamer, nothing. Just I actually also dilute my coffee because I can't handle straight coffee anymore. I mean, strong coffee. I have to get the low acid coffee and then only make a little bit of, or only add a little bit to the mix. Just have weak. My coffee these days is a lot like tea. It's more like tea than coffee. Yeah. Oh well. At least I can do whatever I want. Other than that, yeah. Yeah, I got freedoms. Yeah. I should check the chat, right? Let me just finish straightening out these edges. Little flakes, just little flakes. I might do some larger pressure flakes here after I finish this stage. I'm straightening the edges so I know where it needs to be fixed. It's easy to see the lumpy areas once you do this. And it's just downward pressure on the edges. This is not finishing up. The finishing stage is after the final thinning. It's not thin yet. Okay? When I straighten the edge, I can see where the lumpy areas are. I get an edge that's straight all the way from the base to the tip, and I can see where it needs to be thin, like right on this side. This needs to be thinned down on there. This needs to be thinned, and you can see it easier when the line is straight on the edge. Same with the other side. See that? Straight edge, you can see where it needs to be thinned. And then you can, if that edge is right in the middle, you can shoot flakes to either side. Some people will say, you need to drop the edge toward where you're going to remove flakes. That's not necessarily the case. You can leave it right exactly in the middle, and you can shoot flakes either way, from the middle. That's what I like. That's what I like to do. It might not be perfect, but it makes it easy. Makes it easier. But yeah, sometimes I do have to drop the edge. It depends on the material. Obsidian is usually cooperative if you're right exactly in the middle. But sometimes it's not. So it just depends on the material. This should be okay. I'm going to check the chat here. So if you need to go somewhere or need to be somewhere, now's the time to leave because I'll be checking the chat for about 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Depends on how chatty people are. Excuse me. Let me see here. Hopefully no one's getting offended in the chat. Don't be all sensitive. Why am I filing off the edge? Because it's not done yet. I still got to remove some flakes. It's not done yet. The only time I don't file off the edge is when it's done. That's when I leave it sharp. At the very end, that's when it's left sharp. But not during the middle stages. All right, let's see. See how he knows how to read the stone with precision? That's pattern recognition and being one with the material. I wish. I file off the edge because that helps me to remove flakes. If the edges are really sharp, it's difficult to remove flakes, if not impossible. Hey Jack, if you're willing, would you be so kind to show us your domed topped pad, hand pad? Yeah. I'll do it even though I'm not kind. Yeah. See that? This is a show and tell. This is a domed pad, wood and leather. Do you want to know the precise arc? Just take a screenshot and do your measurements. Okay, hold on. After I drop everything, take some screenshots. Screenshot that. Screenshot that. I got 2 of them. Then you can get the exact measurements. I mean, as far as the arch goes. I'm very picky about these. Also, where's my tape measure? I'm very picky about the overall size. These might look big, but they're not. Okay, overall size is 3 1/4 by 2 3/8. And I've got a bunch of pre-made pieces that are exactly that size. 2 3/8 by 3 1/4. Always. That's the size that I make my pads. Okay? And if you see a different size, that means I messed up. But it fits in my hand just right. It might actually be a little bit large in some cases. Now, what was I just using? I was using a Mike Tufts pad, right? Was I just using this one? I think I was using this one. And this one is domed also, but only in this direction. Mike did not dome it in that direction. Although I could sand it. Okay? This is rubber on top of wood. And who's Mike Tufts? Let me write the name. Let me write his name. Where are my pens? Where do they go? Golly. I have a whole bin of pens. Just so I don't run out of them, and I don't know where the whole bin is. How did I find this one? Okay. I stack things on top of each other. That's why I can't find stuff. And if you don't know how to find Mike Tufts' website or whatever, you can just ask me later in the comments, or maybe someone can tell you. Mike Tufts makes these pads, this kind of pad. I got lazy and I'm using his pads. He sent me a bunch of them for free to try out. But these are the ones I normally use. And I use these on Natural Tool Friday. Okay? All right. And these, I have to be very careful with this because it's not domed in this direction. It does have a higher center, which is good. So I'm not going to be breaking it. I'm not going to be breaking these. But if I start napping in this direction where it's flat, I break my arrowheads on flat pads. Okay? I don't know why. Other people do not have a problem. They think I'm retarded. But I break my points always, almost always guaranteed to break my points on a flat pad. I can't use them. All right, so where was I? That's one of the few guarantees I have in Flintknapping is breaking my points on flat pads. Let's see. What? Let's see. Mike Mason, what are you talking about? Let's see. Kiefer says Patrick Cordovan leather would make a nice strong pad that wouldn't wear as fast. I don't know. If it's just strictly leather, it's too flexible for me. It has to be wood backed. It's got to have some kind of rigid backing So Cordovan leather, I don't know what that means actually. Maybe I'm missing the point. Which would you use for notching? I use both types of pads for notching. When it has this slot, this is mainly for generating long flakes across the surface of the point and not for notching. I use either one for notching, but I use this non-slotted area. I don't know. Did you see when I notched this one? You need to rewind the video and watch how I notched that one. I made this one earlier in the first half of the live stream, and then I hafted it with Sinew, and I used modeling clay to pretend it was hafting glue. I'm going to take that apart later. Let's see. Yeah, it's the same basic shape as a cookie, right? Because cookies will be roundish in the middle or domed. Someone once asked me if this was a biscuit, like a hardtack biscuit. I get the weirdest question. Well, I don't get the weirdest questions. I've just been doing this so long that I have a backlog where in my memory I have questions that people ask me that are kind of weird. Let's see. Yay, Prairie Ghost Ken is here. So I have to make the edge finer? No, I don't make it finer. I actually make it thicker. Let's see. Yeah, Jericho. When you grind down the edge, you're actually making it thicker, not finer. You make it thicker so it's stronger. It's not sharp. You dull it before you remove more flakes. Okay, I don't know if that's what you meant. And I have a lot of questions on that. I never understood why that was an issue. Why people don't understand that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why people ask, why do you grind down the edge? I knew immediately, as soon as I saw a Flintknapper grind down the edge, I knew immediately why he did it. I'm trying to figure out why people don't get that right away. And if I could figure that out, I might be able to answer that question better. Let's see. Let me see. I'm trying to look for questions so I can answer questions if there are any. Let's see. Yeah, I have lots of other videos in case you want to see the whole process in more detail. Tropic focus and neurotic thinking makes us geniuses? Let's see. Austin Wallace says, what kind of stone do you turn into cabs? I'm a jeweler and I set cabs all the time. Hey, there's a jeweler in the house. The old guy ZDK says, I would really like to get into Flintknapping. Any advice? Yeah, I've got 2,000 videos of advice. So the answer is yes. Let's see. Let's see. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I don't nap, but I work stones into cabochons. Okay, but I watch Patrick because I'm researching human cognitive architecture and especially people with autism and ADHD, and both like me. That's interesting. I don't hear that very often. People studying cognitive architecture. Yeah. Let's see. I saw an arrowhead one time that had a slight twist to its edges, says Austin. So when it hits something, it looks like it would spiral in as it cut. Are these types of points hard to make? Well, they're not hard to make, and the reason why they have a twist is because of the sharpening technique and not because they drill into the target, so to speak. The twisting is a incidental result from sharpening, not intentional. It's incidental. They return the remains to that local tribe at the conclusion. Okay, so I think this is the last of the questions. If I missed your question, I apologize. Hey, I missed a super chat. Alan Cole, $2 for timeout fund. Thank you, thank you. Uh-oh, we got somebody posting numbers in the chat. Yes, yes. Let's see how many. Wow, he posted lots of numbers. Let's see. I don't think our moderator's in the house. That's why I'm having to put people in timeout myself. Yep. Okay, all right. I like putting people in timeout. I miss it. Yeah, I used to put my kids in timeout. Really? Actually, no. I thought it was lame. But it's cool on the chats. I never put my children in timeout. No. I just told them that they can't do this or they can't do that now. They just ruined it for themselves. You're not going to be able to do this or that. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to help you with this or that because you've been misbehaving. Yeah, but Dad, that is nothing related to what I just did. Well, that's what you get. That's what you get. You're going to be misbehaving. That's what you get. There's consequences. I'd rather be in timeout, Dad. Nope. Not going to get timeout. You got to get the consequences. Kiefer says the Cordovan leather is the toughest leather from the horse's rump area, but I think you could mistaken it. But I meant to still use the wood base. Oh, okay. Yeah, I use vegetable tanned leather. This is VEG, veg tanned, VEG for short. It's vegetable tanned leather. It's pretty tough, and especially at this thickness. I think this is like 14 ounce or 16 ounce leather. I don't know why they use ounces instead of like millimeters. This doesn't make any sense. All right. Spamming is not allowed, yes. Yeah, play stupid games and win stupid prizes, yeah. Kids understand that. They get the message after a while. You play stupid games, kids, you're going to win stupid prizes. Although that expression came in a little bit later than when they were children, when my kids were little. So I was not able to use that on them. No. Okay, so let's get back to doing this now that we've lost half of our audience. Yeah, that's okay. They went and made their sandwiches. They'll be back. Let's see if I can do the thinning on this. Now, I'm going to use a domed pad. Because you don't need to use a slotted pad for thinning. This is what a lot of the old timers use. I'm a new timer. I wish. But yeah, I don't like using slotted pads, although I will on many occasions still use it. So I'm going to start with the tip first because it's still kind of sharp as far as the tool goes. As the tool wears down, I can use the duller tool tip on the other edges. But near the tip, it has to be sharp. Or sharper. And as long as it goes past halfway a little bit, it works. And you can see I don't need a slot. I just hold it so that it doesn't touch the pad. And you can do that with a domed pad. You can't do that with a flat pad. See what I mean? And if I want to stop a flake intentionally, I can stop it on the pad without worrying about breaking it because it's flat. You see where I'm at? I'm not on the flat. Yeah. And if it rhymes, it's a rule on this channel. Don't be dropping it. Luckily, there's no big flakes down there. Sometimes if there's a big flake and I drop it, it'll break. Yeah. Can you see how I'm doing this? No? That's okay. Why is it okay? Well, maybe I don't want you to learn. Then you'll stop watching the channel. Yeah. I gotta make sure you stay looking at the Flintknapping, so I can't teach you everything, because then you'll go away knowing everything. Yeah. You won't come back, because you'll know everything. Right? Right. I wish. It'd be so much easier to teach people fast. Yeah. But it takes a long time. For most people, it takes a long time to learn this. And there's a bazillion questions. Yeah. Oh, you don't know. If you have not gotten into this, you don't know how many questions there are. There's a bazillion. That's a Flintknapping term. Bazillion. Yep. So what face is it making right now? It's still making that scared face. Yeah, the rock is still making that scared face. Because it can break at any time. But the domed pad helps to not break it. At least with me. Can you see what I'm doing? The edge needs to be dull. Once it starts getting sharper, as I'm doing this, it gets sharper, right? If it's sharp and I push on it, it crushes. And it does this kind of stuff. Because I lose energy in the flaking when it's got a sharp edge. Because it just crushes and doesn't allow me to push hard enough to remove a flake. Yeah. Now for these thicker areas, I'm going to use some more percussion. Yeah. Go back to using the rod for some of these thicker areas. But before I use the rod, I gotta dull it again. Yeah, the only time I don't dull it is at the very end when it needs to be sharp. And someone needs to tell me why that they had difficulty in understanding why I grind it down. Why did you have difficulty in figuring that out? That way I can kind of I'm trying to answer the question better, because obviously I'm not answering the question very well. Or is something, I'm missing something. I'm missing what you're missing. I want to know what you're missing to ask that kind of question. Okay. So I'm taking the flakes off the base first because it's strongest right now. If I hit the base when it's really thin in the middle, it can snap it in half. So let me do this first before I start removing bigger flakes in the middle from the sides. Yeah. This is one thing that people have difficulty with. They'll break everything in half by hitting the bottom. How do you not do it? You just take smaller flakes. I'm not taking big flakes, even though I want to, because it looks like I could shoot big flakes in there and thin it down really good. Do some flutes. No, you can't be greedy. You cannot be greedy with the Obsidian. It won't let you. It will let you if you have lots of practice. Then it doesn't have much of a choice. Right? But you got to have lots of practice to shoot long flakes without breaking it. Yeah. And it's more than just knowing where to shoot it, like following a ridge or whatever. It's got to have good convexity. Okay? It's got to have some meat in there to shoot these flakes well so they don't dive in and cause a weakness. All right? Just be aware that it's got to have convexity in this direction as well as this direction. And you can't hit too hard. It's difficult to know how hard to hit it. Yes, it takes time to learn the limits. I can't tell you just by saying it. It depends on the material and how much you grind the edge, how far you want the flakes to go. If you grind the edge a lot, it takes more force to shoot the flake. Not only does it have a potential of allowing you to generate a longer flake when you grind it, it's also more difficult to remove the flake. So sometimes you're sitting there smacking it and it's not doing anything. You don't want that to happen either. Now, I took a big flake there because I've got experience, but I don't recommend doing that if you're new. Okay, because see how it creates a little bit of a weakness there? If you can't get rid of that easily, I don't recommend doing it. Okay, so now I'm going to hit from the side. See, this is thin enough now for my taste. Okay, I'm going to hit this from the side to make it thinner in the middle. Okay, all right. Yeah, like that. And I'm just going to whittle it down little by little. The flakes do not need to be very big. Yeah, just as long as they go to halfway, I'm satisfied. Yes. If they start going too far, they start diving in, because mahogany obsidian is one of those obsidians that wants a lot of convexity. It wants a lot of convexity. Once it starts getting flat, it starts to dive. Yep. I gotta hit a little bit harder than that. Not good. Is it gonna make it? I gotta make sure it goes at least a little bit past halfway in order to get it thinner. But sometimes it feels like I need to hit it way too hard, and if I cross over into territory that I'm hitting too hard, that's when it'll break. How's that? That felt pretty good. Yes. I could feel that flake. And when I put my fingers there, I'm not supporting it. I put my fingers right where the force is being applied, so I don't create a bridge and snap it because I'm bridging it. I'm not supporting these flakes at all. In fact, it's better just to leave them free. But sometimes I'll hold it right where the flake's coming off to reduce the chance of it snapping in half. I'm not supporting the flake so it travels further. It's best just to leave the flake to travel freely. Yeah, free the flakes. Yeah, freedom. Freedom flakes, not supported flakes. You want the flakes to be free. Yeah. So that's it.
If I thin it any more than that, I'm asking for trouble. Yep. I can thin it a little bit more with pressure, but that's it. Percussion is a little bit risky. A little bit too risky. And it's already 8 o'clock? Dang it. Let's see. I need to wrap this up. What kind of point can I make quickly? Is it about the same size as the other one? It's a little bit bigger than the other one. I don't know. Should I continue? Let's see. I can check the auction. Hold on a second. You guys can go make sandwiches. I gotta check the auction and check the chat. Prairie Ghost Ken says he has a few points of mahogany obsidian. Awesome. Are these for show or used? Well, they can be either. I sell these. So people that buy them can use them for show or for hunting. Yeah. Okay. They're used for either. I sell them in my auctions. I have one going on right now. One of the auctions going on right now. Let's see. This too shall pass. Jason says, so that dome top hand pad is also helping you from overshooting on your flakes as well? Yeah, I can use it to help me prevent the overshoots. Yep. Because the pad will stop flakes, especially obsidian flakes. It will stop the flake. And I can use that to my advantage, I suppose. It's not that great because it a lot of times ends up in a step fracture when I use the pad to stop the flake. But it's better than breaking it. It's better than overshooting it, for sure. TJ says, can I buy that mahogany arrowhead for my car? Carrera. She would love it as a necklace. You want to buy this one? Well, I haven't finished it yet. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I usually don't sell stuff off camera anymore. Because once I start doing that, I get too overloaded. Yeah. So I can't sell it on the side. You'll have to buy it in the auction, I guess. Yeah. I'll try to make more. I'll try to make several mahogany obsidian arrowheads. That way, you'll have a chance to get one of them. Making a spear tip? Nope, these are arrow tips. Yeah, see, this is an arrow foreshaft. Of course, that one's got a notch, like it's a. I got a notch at both ends, but normally the arrow foreshafts are pointed at the other end. Let's see. This is a more accurate arrow foreshaft. See that? It's got a slight point, and you insert this into the end of the main shaft. On these old arrows, they all had these foreshafts, or I would say 99.9% of the old-timey arrows back in the day had foreshafts, with very few that were just one solid shaft with the arrowhead on one end and the fletching on the other. You know what I mean? A lot of them, I would say 99.9% had foreshafts, including the atlatl darts as well. And spears, handheld spears, I don't think had stone points very often. But you'll on the internet, if you look at internet culture, the first thing they're going to say is that spears back in the day were tipped with stone points. And I don't think they were. Yeah, I play with atlatls as well. See, this is my atlatl that I normally use, and I shoot darts, right? And I have atlatl dart foreshafts. This is like the size of an atlatl dart foreshaft compared to an arrow shaft. See how the difference in size? The arrow foreshaft is, much smaller in diameter. Okay.
but the length is very similar. If you look in the archaeological record, the lengths are similar, it's just the diameters are different. Okay. Let's see. Any more questions? I'm going to sharpen this up a little bit, and then I'm going to have to leave. Yep. I'm going to have to end the chat very soon. So let's just sharpen the edge a little bit, or at least thin it down a little bit. Right. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think I'll have time. I won't have time to finish this one. But at least I can work on the edge a little bit. So I like these flakes to travel freely if I'm going to be thinning down the surface. Or if I'm going to be shooting these flakes across the surface to thin it down, that's when I use the slot. Yeah. I got the ADHD, so my brain just goes too fast. Like my mouth can't keep up, so I'll skip words. All right. The funny thing is, I can't listen to people talk fast. It takes me a while to absorb what they're saying. But when my brain is working, it works super fast. I mean, it tries to rush ahead of my mouth. Anyways, just something to ponder for your cognitive research. So this is going to take a few passes to get it straight and nice and neat. Back in the old days, they don't worry too much about keeping it nice and neat and straight. I'm not even looking to see where these flakes are traveling yet, because this is kind of a shortcut. I'm just going to do it like this. It'll automatically thin some spots if they are thick. And then the final pass is going to be deliberate thinning. You'll see what I mean. See, I took some percussion flakes and made the edge all kind of wonky and wavy. So now I have to unwavy it before I start seriously putting in the longer flakes. The longer flakes are going to thin this down more and even it out. Oh, that flake traveled it was too free. See that? It took some off the other side. The unfortunate thing about letting these flakes go free is they will often, it's supposed to stop right here, right? See how it was going to stop, but it hit a ridge and continued. That little push past the main flake is what will get you sometimes. So I pushed here, it fanned out, that's what it was supposed to do, but it hit a ridge just at the very end, and since it flakes so easily, it
continued and blew off part of the other side. That's a mistake. That is not a good thing. Contrary to what you might hear on the internet, those are called overshots, and they are bad. Yeah. Okay. So where are the thick spots? Where are the thick spots I need to get thin down? There's a couple right there. Yeah. That doesn't always work to get it thin down. See that? Nasty. Yeah, it's better. But I had to take a lot of that edge off to fix that. Anyways, let's continue. I gotta grind it down before I take a big flake. Because if I don't, it won't take a big flake. Starting to get thinner. Once I take more flakes from the other side, it'll be even thinner. Yeah. And this is the hard part, okay? Because I'm still thinning it down. Thinning down a thin piece is the hardest thing in all of Flintknapping. Yeah, it's starting to get thinner. Free flakes. Those flakes have got to run free. You know, I am risking it. They might go to the other side, but that's just the risk you take. They might overshoot, but that's just the risk you take. It's getting thinner. Yes, there's a slight curve in it, unfortunately, but I might be able to get some of that out. Every time I try to take the flake, I've got to grind it down. Come on. Come on. Yeah, like that. Is it thinner? It's getting thinner. Is there a limit? Yes. And I'm going by skill level instead of look. Some people won't stop unless it looks right. I will stop according to my skill level, even though it doesn't look right. Yeah. If I keep going just by looks, I usually break it. But if I stop according to skill level, I break it less. I can tell when I'm reaching the end of my skill level because it's just not working very good. When I start to get diminishing returns, I say I've got to live with what I get. That's it. So I gotta level this out because there's a bite taken out there because of the overshot. See that? So I gotta trim all this off just to make it nice and straight. So that's what I'm doing now. And after I do that, then I can try to thin it more. Okay. So I just straightened it out a little bit. I left a little bit on there. It's not perfectly taken back because I still got to shoot flakes in, and that will remove some of the edge. And hopefully it'll remove the amount of edge that I need to remove to make it straight. But I'm also trying to thin it right now. Okay? So when I shoot a thinning flake, it does remove some of the edge. But I have an imaginary line in my brain that said that's good enough. I mean, it'll still work. Even though I took a little bit off that edge, it'll still work. Yeah. So when I push off large flakes, I lose a little bit of the edge every time. But it's still, once I take it back for the last time, it will be straight. Yeah, where it should be. There's a little subtle maneuvering type of thing that you've got to make sure you have enough material to maneuver around, or to make sure you have enough edge left for the final shape. And it's just very subtle little things that make all the difference in the look of the final piece. It's getting thinner and straighter. So I think that's good enough. Yeah. As far as thinness goes, yeah. And then I just straighten out the edges and make sure they're sharp. So that's straighter. The final sharpening, I have to look to see. The final sharpening is when I look and pick off dull spots and make sure these flakes are scooping out the edge a little bit so that the edge is very thin and sharp. Okay? It's almost sharp. I just need to sharpen this to a finer point and come back and remove little bitty flakes wherever I see a dull spot or whatever. If there's a thick spot or a dull spot, I'll pick it off, and that'll sharpen the edge. And many times it's just one pass will sharpen it. You flip it over and do one pass, it'll sharpen it. Okay? Yeah. Let's see if it matches the other size, the other arrowhead. Oh, I didn't lose very much. It's still bigger.
and the other arrowhead. So you can use it for hunting just like that if you just glue it straight to the wood instead of putting notches in it. Someone was asking me earlier about notching, and I'll show you quickly how I do it. Let's see, 8:20. I think I have enough time. Let's see, they can't see what I'm doing. How about with this? Yes. It's just a spatula looking tool. And I call this crunching them in. Crunching in the notches. Push out a flake. One big one and then some little small ones. And dull the edge. Flip it over. Pop out a big flake. And then some little ones. And dull the edge. Flip it over. Pop out a big flake, then some little ones, and then dull the edge, flip it over, pop out a big flake, then some little ones, dull the edge, flip it over, pop out a big flake. It's in there somewhere. And rinse and repeat. Right? Yeah. Same thing on the other side. Be very careful in the beginning. When starting the notches, you got to be very careful. You pop out that big flake, you could make a big, gigantic mistake. The further in you go, the less danger there is making a mistake with those big flakes, but you can pop off that barb. You're not out of the woods when you get deeper in there. It's kind of crunching, so I gotta smoothen this out so it doesn't. You don't get a lot of crunching. Although I say crunch them in, you don't want too much crunching. You want to hear nice clean snaps when you're popping out those bigger flakes. Okay, all right, let's see. Uh-oh, did I stall it? No. That's okay. I gotta pay close attention to what I'm doing. So that's good enough. Yep, it's good enough. Come on, I should have done this earlier. Those little bitty touch-up flakes earlier. I risk breaking off the barb when I do it now. On the middle it's okay, but touching up the barbs is risky. All right. Something looks a little bit off. It's semi-translucent. It's got clear areas in it, or semi-transparent. So it looks like I was missing some material off the stem, but I'm not. It's just transparent. So I'm sharpening the tip just so it looks good, but I would do this down the whole edge. But I'm running out of time. But yeah, I like a nice taper down to the tip, and the barbs don't need to be all that deep. But let's see how it looks on a foreshaft. Yeah, it's a little bit big. This arrowhead's a little bit big for an arrow, but it's okay, I guess. Let's see if I have a bigger arrow foreshaft. Is that one bigger? It's about the same size. This is that little dart foreshaft. This might fit actually better. Yeah, actually fits in this better. So I would use it as in that ladle dart point. Yeah, it fits there perfect. As in that little dart point. Yeah, let's do that. Let's see, it's already 8:30. So yeah, I would just haft it to in that little dart foreshaft. It fits perfectly. See how the width of the stem is the same width as the wood? Yeah, it's good that way. And when the bottom of the notch is wide, this gives me room to play with this alignment. If it's a V notch in the foreshaft, I can't maneuver this like this. It just sticks in one spot. So that's why I widen out the bottom of the notch. All right? All right. So I can align it perfectly. Nice. So yeah, I'll make several of these. That way TJ will have a chance to buy one. So I'll make this one plus some more. I'll make some more mahogany points. That way you can get one for that person who wants to make a necklace. All right, so I'm not going to haft it. I'm out of time. But that's what I would use. I would use this particular foreshaft. And this is the little dart foreshaft. The one prior, it was an arrow foreshaft. Okay? All right. Let me check the chat and then I'll say goodbye. Let's see. All right, here we go. Let's see. Ellen says, I hear Patrick keeps a great selection of funny papers in a timeout. I don't know. Let's see. Who is weird? Damien says, bro, you're weird. Let's see. Do you sell those? How much? Yeah, I sell them in the auction. You can look at my previous auctions to see how much.
These go between, I don't know, they go for between $20 and $35 each, depending on the material, the quality, and the size. Is Damien whining? Some of these guys are only 9 or 10 years old, so I cut them some slack. I did put somebody in timeout, though. Mr. Jim says, is the moon full? The crazies are out? Yeah. Oh, Damien. Let's see. I'm just going to put you in timeout, even though it's the ending of a live stream. I want to see how many comments you did. That. Dang it, you've been spamming. Yep. Holy moly. I missed all your spammings. Oh well. Let's see, what did I miss? I'm looking for questions. If there's no questions, I will end the live stream. Yeah. I gotta end it anyway. I'm already over my time. Let's see here. So there's some new people. All right, so I think that's it. Saito says, I never saw this process before. It's interesting stuff, and I subscribed. Awesome. Thank you. It went from $40 to $20 in one flake. Yeah. Yeah, the price goes down if you make a mistake. It only takes one flake to make a mistake. It rhymes. Let's see, so is it trashed now? No, you can repair it. Many times you can do some repairs on whatever. All right, so I think that's it. I don't see any more questions. Yeah, I must be popular because the weirdos like to hang out here. Yeah. But I did put some people in timeout. They're probably only 7 or 8 years old, so I feel kind of bad. Let's see. Okay. All righty. I think that's it. Thank you for being here. It's good to see everybody. The next live stream is Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Yeah. And we should have internationals in the house on Wednesday. And I'll be doing a slab. I do slabs on Wednesdays. Okay? And then on Fridays, I use natural tools. Antlers and stone, hammer stones. Okay? All right. That's it. We'll see you next time. Thank you. I've been doing this type of work for about 15 years, maybe a little bit longer, I guess. Yeah, I'm no longer married and I'm retired, so now I can do whatever I want. Yeah, but I started this like 15 years ago as a way to eliminate my depression, but it turned into a hobby and then now a small business. Okay, we'll see you next time, guys. Thank you. See you soon. Bye-bye.